Hi, it's John. It's ASMR time. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is like a Christian church, but it isn't. Whenever anyone says, well, how are you different? I answer with, it's the same God, just different way of doing things. Our services, for example, we don't have priests, we have mediums who come in. They do philosophy of our belief for half of the service, and for the other half we do communication with spirit. In between all that we have prayers. We'll start off with a prayer from the guest medium, then there'll be the Lord's Prayer which we say, then we do a few hymns, which is always good, and it's supposed to raise the energy in the church. I always feel happy when I sing a song, and it's the same process. We'll sing something and it'll build up the energy. We also do the Book of Healing, where we'll say a prayer for people who need healing in the world, and we'll read out a list of the people who need healing, and they're usually part of the congregation, or people will know them who are part of the congregation. We say a prayer for them as well. So we start off with prayers, healing, hymn, philosophy, another hymn, then the communication, or a demonstration of mediumship, and then we finish off with usually another hymn and a prayer. And that's how our services work. And generally it's the same sort of layout through all the different churches, and this is one of many that I've been connected to in the past. I started off going to the church in Buxton. I went to the church in Belper, which is just outside of Derby. And then when I came home to live here, I found this church, and it's amazing. I jokingly call it the TARDIS sometimes, because people walk past it, I never notice it, and it is a lot bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. You would not think that this was here if you were just walking past on the way to the park. And this is only one room. There's a room similar size to this, just back that way. Another little quiet room. It's great. I love it. I love coming here when there's no one around and just being in the quiet. It's nice, it's peaceful. And if there's ever anything that's troubling me and worrying me, I can come here and it feels safe. And you know you've experienced the sound here. It just sounds different to the outside world. Completely different. It's a busy street outside normally. It's still quiet. It's always quiet. With how people think about mediumship, and in particularly how spiritualist churches work, they think that we sit in dark rooms with candles everywhere, shouting out at people, asking, are you there? And you know, behind closed doors, certainly not here, that can happen, but we're just a bunch of down-to-earth people who believe in the same thing, that death is not the end of life, it's just a continuation of it. I guess that's why I was able to accept ASMR and accept the people who do it a lot easier, because there's other parts of my life where, you know, you have to be careful what you say to people, and you know, there's the constant fear of ridicule. So I already have to deal with that in one aspect of my life, so having to deal with it in another is not that hard. There's the belief of spirituality, but I'm also of the thinking that there's a science behind what we believe in. Again, this next comment, which I'm going to say, might not be completely what people agree in, but I think it was Einstein who said that energy cannot be destroyed. It just converts into something else. And there's a ton of energy going on up here. So what happens to that energy once the human body dies? It's got to go somewhere. So where's it go? And that's my belief from where the soul comes in. The soul is the energy. So when whenever I say there's a nice energy about that person, I'm really saying they're a good person. And that's where, my sort of, the science behind my belief comes in. Everything that we do here in this church is done with love. So it's always a good feeling. It's always a positive feeling. When I'm in the meditation here, I can see it like it's happening. How the meditations here are different to the ones that I release on YouTube as I try and scale back the spirituality side of it. The way it feels in here is really peaceful. I always feel that peace whenever I work doing these meditations, whether it be in the church, when I'm being guided myself. It's peaceful. I get peace from it. So for me, on my personal journey through life, ASMR and my spirituality, they do go hand in hand. And what I can take from one I can put into another, and from the other I can put into something else. For me personally, sometimes they're one and the same.